Hey guys, Rachel Hippolyte here. I want to talk to you about a weird old day I had in the week and what I did with the emotion that I was feeling. Okay, so we've been in very strange situations for the last 4 to 6 weeks. So initially I was in lockdown, and although I'm now working, things are quite stressful with the fact that that the business has been affected financially, as have most small businesses in Australia. Okay, but I've been doing really well. I've been feeling really positive. And then last week, I just had this feeling, this feeling of emptiness, this feeling of just flat is the only way that I could feel it. That the only way that I could describe it, and I couldn't really understand what it was. Okay, so what I did and what I would do now in these situations is I try and just recognize what that emotion, what that feeling is. I don't go into fear about feeling those feelings anymore. We're always going to get good, and we're always going to get bad days, and we're always going to get mediocre days. And so with this feeling, I sat there and I recognized what it was. I always feel it in my gut, and it was just an unpleasant flatness, an unpleasant emptiness. And so I sat with it and I recognized that it was just a feeling. And I could have done one of two things, okay? So I then logically tried to work out what this feeling was based on. Why was I feeling this? What thought was it that was making me feel this? Now, if I could, sometimes we don't even know why we're feeling like this. And in those cases, all you have to do is you have to sit with that feeling and just know that it will pass. It's there. We don't know why it's there, but it will pass. And try and look for something to do to be able to make yourself feel better. So, for instance, I decided to have a glass of wine and go down to the beach and watch sunset. And afterwards, I felt so much better. But in this situation, I actually worked out by just sitting with this feeling, sitting with this emptiness, I actually worked out why I was feeling like this. And what it was, I was just, the only way I can describe it is I was bored. I just felt that life was like the same every day. You know, I was cycling to work, I was coming home, you know, we weren't really being able to meet with friends, we weren't being able to go out to restaurants, so I felt like it was really like Groundhog Day. And I suddenly found myself thinking that feeling quite flat and quite empty, that I didn't have anything to look forward to. Now, I'm an achiever. I like to have plans, I like to have goals, I like to have something to focus on, something to look forward to. And so obviously I didn't have any of those. We didn't have plans for the future. You know, holidays that we had been cancelled, holidays that we'd wanted or had planned for maybe in the future. We don't know what's going to happen with the world. We don't know when things are going to open up. Okay, so what I then did was I sat down and I said, right, how can I make this feeling, this emptiness, this not having something to focus on, this not having something to look forward to, what can I do about it? So I can't book a holiday, I can't change the situation, but I can certainly change how I feel about the situation. So I sat down with my husband and we decided, we've had some travel goals that we wanted to do that have just been put up in the air, not really plans of when they're gonna happen. So we booked a trip down to Yellingup in July. Now I don't know whether that happened because we actually can't travel even within our state at the moment, but I'm feeling positive and I'm feeling confident that we'll be able to make this 3-hour trip down south. So that's booked. And I'm just focusing on that it is going to happen. So I'm getting excited that it is going to happen. And then we sat down with my husband and all these plans that had kind of been up in the air, I actually sat down and we started talking about them. You know, when my children leave school and they don't need me as much anymore, my husband and I really talked about traveling a lot more. And so rather than these just being very pie in the air plans, we actually sat down and said, right, let's make a list of everything that we are going to achieve. And things like, I want to do base camp. We want to go, so we worked out the 7 wonders of the world. We worked out the 7 natural wonders of the world, everything that we really wanted to do. And we're going to write it down in a list. Now, we might not have dates for it, but by focusing on what we want to do and really looking into how we are going to achieve it when it is possible, it gave me something to focus on. It gave me something to be excited about. Now, remember, my goals are going to be very, very different to your goals. And it might simply be that for you, it might simply be that you want to achieve getting up at a certain time every day, or you want to achieve making sure that you sign up for study. It might be you want to achieve that you actually get a new job, even as simple as achieve as having a shower every day. But it's the achievement and the focus on the goal that actually makes you feel good about yourself. And it absolutely changed that negative feeling for me. So even though a lot of our plans have been taken away, a lot of that control over our life has been taken away, we can still control what we think we want to do. So I want you to do that now. And it doesn't have to be something that you do in 3 years' time. It can be something simple that you can achieve in the next couple of days. But also plan for something that you want to do in a couple of years' time or a year's time. Plan for something that doesn't have to have an exact date to it, but really research it. Really research what you want to have achieved by the time 3 years comes up. And write it down so that you've got a goal, you've got a focus. So remember, we're always going to have those sinking negative feelings, those emotions, but that's exactly all it is. It's an emotion based on a thought. You may not even know why that emotion's there. If you don't know why, sit with it. Know that it will pass. It always does, okay? If you do recognize what it is, and I'm quite in touch with my emotions now, I can actually quite in touch with my conscious and my unconscious mind, actually work out why you're feeling like that, and then work out what you can do to change that feeling to a better feeling, to a happier feeling, to something. For me, it was something I needed, something to look forward to. And so my bucket list is now a list. Okay, guys, cheers.